I'm Dali.
And we're doing a scene from A Doll's House, which is a play about this woman who, her husband fell ill, and so they had to take a trip to Italy. But in order to get money, she had to get it illegally. And yeah, and also her husband is like mean and treats her like garbage, basically. And in our scene, me, Nora, the wife, is talking to her longtime friend Christine, and they're kind of just catching each other up on what's been happening, and Nora confides in her in what she's done.
How did she get the money illegally, or what did she do illegally?
So she said that her dad gave her a loan to get money, but she forged his signature and just got it that way. So.
How do you do, Nora?
How do you do?
You don't recognize me, I suppose.
No, I don't know, yes. To be sure, I seem to... Christine, is it really you?
Yes, it is I.
Christine, to think of my not recognizing you. And yet, how you have altered, Christine.
Listen, 9, 10 long years.
Is it so long since we met? The last 8 years have been a happy time for me, I can tell you. And so now, you have come into town and taken this long journey in winter. That was plucky of you.
I arrived by steamer this morning.
To have some fun at Christmas time, of course, how delightful. We will have such fun together, but take off your things. You're not cold, I hope? Now, we will sit down by the stove and be cozy. Now you look a little like your old self, Christine. It was only the first moment. You are a little thinner, perhaps a little paler too.
And much, much older, Nora.
Perhaps a little older. Very, very little though. Certainly not much. What a thoughtless creature I am. My poor dear Christine, do you forgive me?
What do you mean?
Poor Christine, you are a widow.
Yes, it is 3 years ago now.
Yes, I knew. I saw it in the paper, but I assure you, Christine, I meant not so often to write to you at the time, but I always put it off and something always prevented me.
It's okay, I understand.
No, it was very bad of me, Christine. Poor thing, how you must have suffered. And he left you nothing?
No,
And no children?
no.
Nothing at all then?
Not even a sorrow gift to live upon.
But, Christine, is that possible?
Sometimes happens, Nora.
So you were quite alone then. How dreadfully sad that must be. I have 3 lovely children, but you can't see them right now because they're out with the nurse. But now, you must tell me all about it.
No, I want to hear about you.
No, you must begin. I mustn't be selfish today. Today, I must only think of your affairs. But there is one thing I must tell you. Did you know that we have just had a great piece of good luck?
No, what is it?
Just fancy. My husband has been made manager of the bank.
Your husband? What good luck?
Yes, tremendous. A barrister's profession is such an uncertain thing, especially if you want to undertake and save your faces. And naturally, Torvald has never been one to do that, and I quite agree with him. You may imagine how pleased we are. He should take up his work at the bank in the new year. Then, he will make a big salary and make lots of commissions. For the future, we can live quite differently. We can do just as we like. I feel so relieved and so happy, Christine. It will be splendid to have heaps of money and not have any anxiety, won't it?
Yes, I believe it's delightful to have what one needs.
No, not only what one needs, but heaps and heaps of money.
Nora, have you learned any sense yet? In our school days, you were a great spendthrift.
Yes, that is what Torvald says now, but Nora is not so silly as you think. We have not been in a position for me to waste money. We have both had to work.
You too?
Yes, odds and ends, needlework, crochet work, and that kind of thing. And other things as well. You know, Torvald left his office when we were married. There was no prospect of promotion there, and he had to try to earn more than before. But during the first year, he overworked himself dreadfully. You see, he had to make money every way he could, but he fell dreadfully ill, and the doctor said it was necessary for him to go south.
But you spent a whole year in Italy, didn't you?
Yes, and it was no easy matter to get away, I can tell you. It was just after little Ivar was born, but naturally we had to go. It was a wonderful, beautiful journey, and it saved Torvald's life, but it cost a tremendous lot of money, Christine.
Yes, and in emergencies like that, I believe it's good to have that kind of money.
Yes, I have to tell you we had it from Papa.
Oh, I see. It wasn't about that time that he died?
Yes, and just imagine it. I couldn't go and nurse him. I was expecting little Ivar's birth every day, and I had my poor sick Torvald to look after. My dear kind father, I never saw him again, Christine. That was the saddest time I have known since our marriage.
I know how fond you were of him, but then you went off to Italy.
Yes, you see, we had money then, and the doctors insisted on our going, so we started a month later.
And your husband came back quite well?
As sound as a bell.
But the doctor?
What doctor?
I thought your maid said the gentleman who arrived as I did was the doctor.
Oh yes, that was Dr. Rank, but he doesn't come here professionally. He's our greatest friend and comes in at least once every day. No, Torvald has not had an hour's illness since then, and my children are happy and so am I. Oh, Christine, it's so good to be alive and happy. But how horrid of me. I am talking of nothing but my own affairs again. You mustn't be angry with me. Tell me, is it true that you did not love your husband? Why did you marry him?
My mother was alive then, and I had to provide for my two younger brothers, so I do not think I was justified in refusing his offer.
No, perhaps you are quite right. He was rich at the time then?
Yes, I believe he was quite well off, but his business was a precarious one, and once he died, it all went to pieces and there was nothing left.
And then?
And then, well, I had to turn my hands to anything I could find. For a small shop, for a small school, and so on. Life has seemed like one long working day with no rest.
Well, what a relief you must feel it.
No, indeed. I only feel my life is unspeakably empty. No one to work for anymore. That's why I cannot stand my life in a little backwater any longer. But I feel like I need to occupy my thoughts and just feel more busy. Perhaps some office work of some kind.
But, Christine, that sounds awfully tiring, and you look tired out now. You had far better go away to some watering place.
But I have no father to give me money for my journey, Nora.
Oh, don't be angry with me.
It is you that must not be angry with me, dear. The worst position is like mine. To no one to work for, but yet always obligated to look out for chances. One must live, so one must become selfish. And when I heard about the delightful fortune that you've taken, you would hardly believe I was frightened, but not much on your part is on mine.
How do you mean? Oh, I understand. You mean that perhaps Torvald can get you something to do?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, you must, Christine. Just leave it to me. I'll approach the subject very cleverly. I will think of something that will please him very much. I will be so happy to be of some use to you.
It is doubly kind of you to be able to help me, for you know so little of the troubles and burdens of life.
I know so little of them.
Nora, small household cares, that sort of thing. You're a child.
You ought not to be so superior.
No?
You are just like the others. They all think I am incapable of anything really serious.
Come.
That I have gone through nothing in this world of cares.
But my dear Nora, you have just told me all your troubles.
Pooh! Those are trifles. I have not told you the most important thing.
The most important thing, what do you mean?
You look down upon me altogether, Christine, but you ought not to. You are proud, aren't you, of having worked so hard and so long for your mother?
Yes, I believe I have the right to be.
I think so too, but now listen to this. I too have something to be proud and glad of.
I have no doubt you have, but what do you refer to?
Speak low. Suppose Torvald were here. He mustn't, on any account. No one in the world must know Christine except you.
Okay. What is it?
Come here. Now, I will show you that I too have something to be proud and glad of. It was I who saved Torvald's life.
Saved? How?
I told you about our trip to Italy. Torvald would never have recovered if we had not gone there.
Your father gave you the necessary funds.
Yes, that is what Torvald and all the others think, but
But
Papa didn't give us a shilling. It was I who procured the money.
You? All I learned some?
250 pounds. What do you think of that?
But how could you? You couldn't have won the lottery or something.
Couldn't I? Why not?
Because you couldn't have borrowed it.
But I did.
No wife cannot borrow without her husband's consent.
Oh, if it is a wife who has any head for business. A wife who has the wit to be a little bit clever.
I don't understand it at all, Nora.
There's no need you should. I never said I borrowed the money. I may have gotten it some other way. Perhaps I got it from some other admirer. When anyone is as attractive as I am.
You're a mad creature.
Now, you know you're full of curiosity, Christine.
Listen to me, Nora dear. Haven't you been a little bit imprudent?
Is it imprudent to save your husband's life?
Seems to me imprudent without his knowledge too.
But it was absolutely necessary that he should not know. My goodness, can't you understand that? It was necessary that he should have no idea what a terrible condition he was in. It was to me that the doctors came and said that his life was in danger, and that the only way to save him was to live in the South. Do you suppose I didn't try, first of all, to get what I wanted as it were for myself? I told him how much I should love to travel like all the other young wives. I tried tears and entreaties with him. I told him that he ought to remember the condition I was in, and that he ought to be kind and indulgent to me. I even hinted that he might raise a loan, but that nearly made him angry, Christine. He said that I was thoughtless, and that it was his duty as my husband not to indulge me in my whims and caprices, as I believed he called them. But very well then, you must be saved. And that was how I came to devise a way out of the difficulty.
But did your husband know that the money had not come from him?
No, never. Papa died just at the time then.
And since then, you've just kept your secret from your husband?
Yes, but he doesn't even know.
But do you mean you never to tell him about it?
Maybe someday, when I'm no longer as nice looking as I am now. But, you know, when Torvald is no longer as devoted to me, and when my dancing and reciting have palled on him, then it may be a good thing to have something in reserve. But what nonsense. The time will never come. Now what do you think of my great secret, Christine? Do you still think I'm of no use? I may tell you too that this affair has caused me a lot of worry. It has been by no means easy for me to meet my engagements punctually. There is something in business called quarterly interest and another thing called payment in installments. And it is always so dreadfully difficult to manage them. I've not been able to put much aside for my housekeeping money, for Torvald must have it at table. And I couldn't let my children be shabbily dressed. I felt obliged to use all he gave me for them, the sweet little darlings.
But it has all come out of your own necessary funds, Honora.
Yes, besides, I was the one responsible for it. Whenever Torvald has given me money for new dresses and such things, I have never spent more than half of it. Thank goodness any clothes look well on me, so Torvald has never noticed it. But it was often very hard on me, Christine, because it is nice to be really well dressed, isn't it?
Quite so.
Yes, well, anyways, I found other ways of earning money. Last winter, I was lucky enough to get a lot of copying to do, so I sat in my room and locked myself up, writing every night. Many a time, I was desperately tired, but all the same, it was a pleasure working there and earning money. It was like being a man.
But how much were you able to pay off in that way?
I can't tell you exactly. You see, it is very difficult to keep an account of a business matter of that kind. I only know I have paid off every penny I have earned. Many a time I was at my wit's end, but then I used to sit here and imagine that a rich old gentleman had fallen in love with me.
What? Who was it?
Be quiet. That he had died, and that when his will was opened, it contained written in big letters the instruction, "The lovely Mrs. Nora Helmer is to have all I possess paid over to her at once in cash."
Nora, who could the man be?
Good gracious, can't you understand? There was no old gentleman at all. It was only something that I used to sit here and imagine when I couldn't think of any way of procuring money. But it's all the same now. The tiresome old person can stay where he is as far as I'm concerned. I don't need him or his will either, for I'm free from care now. It's delightful to think of Christine, free from care, to be free from care, quite free from care, to be able to play and romp with the children, to have everything just as Torvald likes it. And think of it, soon the spring will arrive in the big blue sky. Perhaps I shall take a little trip. Perhaps we shall see the sea again. Oh, it's a wonderful thing to be alive and happy.
There's the bell. Perhaps I'd better go.
No, don't go. It is sure to be for Torvald. No one will come in here. Servant,
Okay then.